How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. How Bitcoin mining could actually make the earth greener, an opinion piece. According to the recent analysis from U.S. Energy Information Administration, Bitcoin miners in the United States use as much electricity as the state of Utah, so not as much as most people think. The EIA study also estimated that Bitcoin mining accounts for somewhere between 0.6% and 2.3% of all electricity demand in the US in 2023. Most of this demand is green demand though. However, the recent analysis in Hacker Noon says that Bitcoin mining creates a demand for electricity that would otherwise be wasted or unused, thus improves the efficiency and utilization of the energy sector. There are many examples of how Bitcoin miners are harnessing energy in remote locations such as hydroelectric dams, solar farms, and natural gas flares. The author also cites the digital asset research from CoinShares that found 74% of Bitcoin mining electricity comes from renewable energy, and about 39% of the energy needed comes from those resources. Primarily, they have a good usage. It has gone up. I believe about a year ago it was 64%, so it's gone up about 10%. Bitcoin miners seem to be more attracted to the green options because that reduces their costs as well. Bankrupt Genesis seeks to sell over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin Trust shares, so the selling's not over. This is GBTC shares, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Still the same one we just saw selling off over the last couple weeks. The urgency of their motion is palpable as the bankrupt crypto lender filed a concurrent request to expedite the proceedings to coincide with the hearing on February 8th. So basically this means on February 8th, they could hear if they can sell these assets. If they sell these assets, they may start dumping on the market immediately. Offloading such a substantial quantity is about 3.2% of Bitcoin's total circulating supply, so it will have implications for the market. So just manage your risks, prepare for both sides like we always tell you. So over on the charts here, we did try to push forward and we are seeing Bitcoin drop under. So we are continuing that inverted relationship. They didn't really stay correlated for more than a couple days. We do have a reversal arrow here after getting this flag run up. So we could attempt to push forward, hit that 105 area if we can sustain bullish momentum. But it's likely we would come down, possibly test this 103. We would see the rest of the market, crypto market push forward, retest some highs, and then we would see them correct the other way, where Dixie goes up and Bitcoin goes down, if that's the direction we're going to go. So over on the indicators, we are using Market Cipher B edits and Market Cipher A free version 1.1. These are both free to use in TradingView, which is free like the information we're giving you. So smash the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss a thing. We do have our trading video coming out all throughout the week. We had the first one today for Mastering the Trade. That was a catch-up for last week, only having 4. Starting tomorrow, we are going to be getting into some trading patterns throughout the week. We'll cover different ways to trade on those patterns, so don't miss it. If you want to test your knowledge on the beginning stuff, we did link up a test in our Discord, so join that Discord as well. But over on our indicators, our Market Cipher A gives us these lines here that you see all the different colors. You will want to change your inputs to as following. You'll go to Style, change the colors for EMA 1 through 8 to the same as mine, and change your opacity to 70%. That'll give you these lines. These EMA lines will be covered next week as well. They are support and resistances between different areas of support and resistance. These EMAs are a little more reactive than an SMA because they're more based on recent price data rather than the price data being more smoothed out. So our momentum is coming down, RSI is running up, stochastics overall pushing down, VWAP is trying to push forward. Our stochastics is double line. It shows if we are getting overbought or oversold. It gives the strength to that RSI. The RSI shows the assets overbought or oversold. This stochastic more it swings more with how the asset moves. We will cover the exacts on the stochastic and RSI a little bit more in the upcoming videos. That's not for this upcoming week. It'll probably be in the future weeks, but we do have a trading basics video that covers them. RSI is heading up. That's the relative strength index that shows that the asset is currently overbought. It has been overbought for some time. but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to drop. Momentum is overall pushing down. That is this big blue wave. We are getting lower highs. If that continues, we could start to push away and diverge. Our view up, the yellow wave, shows our buying and selling pressure in the shorter term. The momentum is more the medium term. As that view up comes up, that momentum can gain strength, and then our money flow, this red wave that turns red and green, could try to gain some strength. If that money flow flips and becomes green again, then we can see a trend reversal and continue forward, and then that divergence on the momentum may not be as worrisome. Over on the total here, we are rejecting the top of our pattern with a manipulation X. If this continues, we are likely going to continue further lower. This is a bearish sign. That manipulation X does show we want to drop. We do have two of them after trying to come up to where we should break up. In our channels, we mentioned that watch for any kind of bearish momentum. This is that bearish momentum here that's building. This is not good for the altcoins. If it continues to build, we're likely going to round away, drop down, and we could invalidate this pattern by breaking to the downside, as we should be breaking to the upside right now. Our stochastic is pushing down, RSI is overall coming down, money flow is pushing out, the view ups overall favoring bearish territory, and our momentum wants to round away with a red dot. So overall, our indicators aren't looking good. That red dot on our momentum shows that it wants to come down. As that view up breaks into the bearish territory, if that continues down, our money flow will break into the bearish territory as well, and then our altcoins could flip into more of a bearish trend again. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are starting to slide out of this channel, much like we've been warning about for the last several days. If we could retest it, try to come back in it. If we do that, then we could see some bullish strength. However, if we come up, get rejected, and then pull back, it's very likely the bears will gain control here. Our stochastic does want to push down. RSI is coming down. Momentum is rounding. We have a red dot. VWAP has broken into the bearish territory, and the momentum is coming down, so that's weakening that money flow. As that money flow weakens, we will see price action continue lower. If we look over on the 1 hour, we'll do this real quick. We didn't get quite a retest, so there is no retest yet. We do still have the possibility to come up retest. If we get rejected at that retest and start coming down, that's where we will see price action start to leave us, as dominance getting weaker, which suggests people are selling Bitcoin for stablecoins or altcoins, but with the total looking weaker, it's more likely stablecoins or dollars, as the Dixie is going up right now. Over on Bitcoin futures, we are attempting to push off that point control, but we're struggling. We have a little bit of a gap here. This is a gap to the downside that could end up filling either sooner or later. They really don't have a specified time preference. Remember, we do have this gap from 50K from like a year or two ago now. That gap is still likely to fill. We also have this gap down here from 20K from when we made our bottom. So we are trying to roll away. We didn't really get much strength. We'll have to see if we come and fill that gap today. If we get a green candle and fill that gap, we may be able to see some bullish strength, as that would be a few more green candles above this line. However, if we close with a red candle, it's very likely we could start to break this point control, slip down, and that would result in Bitcoin getting weaker. Stochastic is trying to push up, but RSI is losing strength. VWAP's rolling over, pushing into the bearish territory, and the momentum wants to roll away as well. So the money flow is about to weaken if that momentum cannot stay above this bearish territory. If that momentum just rolls over, money flow will weaken, our futures will weaken, and then that will lead to Bitcoin weakening as well. Remember, we do have that value area low. We're around that 37K, 37.8. So if we cannot meet some support in that zone, we do have lower gaps besides this gap down to 39.855. So if we cannot hold this range at around this 42K and make a break and get through that 44K, it's likely we are going to come down still. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did invalidate this bullish momentum, so we did kind of push away. We have been warning that things did look a little bit more bearish, so hopefully you were watching for a rejection. Stochastic is coming down. We have a bearish cross. RSI is coming down. Momentum is rounding away. That VWAP has broken into the bearish territory. Money flow is trying to break bearishly as well. If we continue to see red candles under this EMA level, it's likely we will start to slip away here and reject this Fibonacci area. If you're not familiar with the Fibonacci retracement, visit the Trading Basics playlist and visit our Fibonacci retracement video. That'll show you how to get the golden pocket. Our stochastic does have our orange above blue. We are starting to drop off. RSI is coming down. Momentum is starting to round. We have that red dot. That VWAP does want to break bearishly, and with the money flow starting to flip bearish, we could have a trend reversal if we're not careful. So pay attention to the lower time frames. RSI is overall coming down, stochastic's overall heading down, money flow is starting to come out on the 4 hour, our VWAP is in a bearish trend with lower lows, is favoring that bearish territory, momentum is starting to build bearish strength as well. We do have a manipulation X that did bring us down, but we have an indecision candle that wants to try to bring us up if we can get a strong green candle following these candles. If we chop sideways here though, we will make a bear flag. That bear flag will start to bring us even lower if we are not careful. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is coming down, stochastic is heading down. Money flow has broken into the bearish territory. VWAP is in the bearish territory. It is starting to favor the bearish territory as well. We did break bullishly, but that was a weak break, and we are back down. Momentum overall is favoring bearish territory as well, so the strength is more in the bear's favor right now. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is heading down. RSI wants to head down as well. VWAP is favoring bearish territory here as well. Money flow is bearish. Momentum got that rejection. So overall, the 1 hour does signal we could start to come down. The 2 hour signaling we could reject away. So this 4 hour and daily are in jeopardy of breaking to the bearish side, much like we've been warning of over the last few days, so hopefully you've been paying attention. Over on the graph for the daily, we are continuing to push down. Stochastic is pushing away. We do have our orange above our blue, so we are seeing that bearish cross. RSI is coming down. That VWAP is favoring that bearish territory. Money flow is coming out, and our momentum is pushing lower, so overall we do have some bearish strength, and it is building. We do have this rounding top here that could continue to push us lower. We do currently have lower highs with lower lows, so we do have a bearish trend that is forming here. Over on our 4 hour, we have that manipulation X that did bring us lower. RSI is overall heading down. Stochastic's overall rejecting away from a bullish cross right at that 30. Money flow has broken bearish. VWAP is favoring bearish territory. Momentum is coming down, so overall we do have more bearish strength. If we come over and make lower lows here, we could continue lower, break a bearish trend, and see lower price action. We do have the possibility to make a descending triangle. If we're not careful, we do have some flat bottoms with descending tops. That does make a descending triangle. Descending triangles are bearish patterns that do end up breaking you lower. If we're not careful, that could push us right to that 14,122 area. So I would watch. If our lower time frames don't pick up bullish strength, then we are likely going to reject away. We do have 2 touches to the bottom, so we could come up, hit the top, and then reject away, push down, get near the tip, and then push lower there. RSI does want to come down, stochastic is heading down, VWAP is favoring that bearish territory, money flows in the bearish territory, and momentum is pushing lower, so overall things are favoring more bearishly on the 2 hour. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is pushing down, RSI is coming down, money flow has broken into the bearish territory, our VWAP is favoring that bearish territory, momentum favoring the bearish territory as well. So overall, we do have that bearish strength building on the 1 and 2 hour here as well. If that continues, we will see those higher time frames start to weaken, and with the total not looking so strong, that is very likely. Over on Ankr for the daily, we did break that rising channel. I'm going to delete all these other channels that I made making the videos for this week. I did use Ankr as one of our examples because we had so many channels going on, but this rising channel right here did end up breaking us down, and we are seeing it break us out of this pattern like I warned you about yesterday. Stochastic is rounding away, RSI is coming down, VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory, money flow is rejecting that neutral, momentum is starting to get that red dot, so we could continue some bearish strength here and keep rejecting away. If you have not entered for any kind of short, you should wait for any kind of confirmation. You could jump in, but mitigate a stop loss appropriately. If you don't know what that is coming up in the new videos as well. RSI is coming down, stochastic's coming down, momentum is pushing lower, VWAP is favoring that bearish territory, and the money flow does want to break that neutral. If we see the VWAP continue to favor bearishly, momentum's going to break bearishly and bring the money flow along with it, weakening that 4 hour. Over on the 2 hours, RSI is heading down, stochastic's overall pushing out with bearish divergence. VWAP is favoring the bearish territory, money flow is favoring the bearish territory as well, and the momentum is pushing lower. So overall, the 2 hour does not look very good, and it doesn't show any signs of making a bounce here. Over on the 1 hour, RSI is heading down as our stochastic starts to split up pretty drastic. VWAP is favoring that bearish territory, money flow is coming down, momentum is pushing lower. So overall, this 1 hour does have a lot of bearish strength. We do have this indecision hammer candle that wanted to push us forward, but we are not confirming a strong green candle. If we see further red candles from here, it's likely we will push out of this pattern and start to push lower. Over on XRP, we did break down and push lower, so this is an example why even though you have a bullish pattern, you should watch how the rest of the market looks. That way you can see if it'll trend with you or against you. Our stochastic does want to round out, RSI is starting to head down as a result. VWAP wants to break into the bearish territory, keep a close eye on it. Money flow is in the bearish territory and the momentum is getting a red dot. So I would watch very closely. If we build bearish momentum here, we are going to start seeing some lower lows, possibly break that 48, and then we could visit that 38 that we have mentioned before. So if you saw, we just got red, 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 and then we got a sharp breakdown. So we were not getting any kind of bounces within that pattern. We'll look at the lower time frames were pretty red too. We had very few green candles. When you have a bullish pattern, you want to see some green candles. If you're seeing a lot of red, that could signal bears have control. Over on the 4 hour, we're rolling away. We have a manipulation X. Stochastic is pushing down. RSI is coming down. VWAP is favoring that bearish territory. And the money flow is in the bearish territory as well. If we do not pick up some strength here, we could continue this chop sideways and drop, where we keep trading sideways and seeing a drop. So I would watch the next few candles. If we continue sideways, we could make another bear flag and see another drop down. We are right around that 50, which is a psychological support resistance. So if we break it again and we cannot get back above that 50, that's going to be where we'll struggle and see those lower price targets. RSI is coming down, stochastic's coming down, VWAP is favoring the bearish territory, money flows in the bearish territory, momentum is favoring that bearish territory, deep in the bearish territory, but if that VWAP can make a bounce, we will see momentum pick up strength. Over on the 1 hour, we are in the bearish territory here as well, so it is very likely if the 1 and 2 hour do not reverse, we will see these higher time frames start to pull back and drop even lower. Stochastic is rejecting across to the bullish side from that 30 zone and pushing lower. RSI is starting to come down as a result. VWAP's favoring the bearish territory, momentum's favoring the bearish territory, and the money flow is in that bearish territory as well. So overall, we do look like we could continue a bearish trend and continue lower. Over on ALGO for the daily, we are starting an early breakdown from that symmetrical triangle. That could be that bear pendant breakdown starting to happen, so I would keep close eye on that. That is rejecting that support and pushing near that value area high, like we did mention. Stochastic is rolling away, RSI is starting to come down, VWAP is pushing into the bearish territory, money flow is rejecting that neutral, momentum does want to get a bullish divergence, but like I've said, that bullish divergence doesn't necessarily mean you have to go forward. We do have a red dot that does want to round away and invalidate it. Over on this 4 hour, we are starting to push down, so watch for confirmation. If we push down, retest and reject, that's where we would see those further losses. RSI is coming down, stochastic is continuing down, momentum is pushing lower, VWAP's favoring that bearish territory, and the money flow wants to break bearishly. So if the 1 and 2 hour do not pick up strength, this 4 hour could easily flip into that bearish territory. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is pulling back, stochastic is rejecting that 30, pushing into the bearish territory, VWAP is favoring bearish territory, money flows clinging onto the bullish territory as that momentum pushes down. If that VWAP continues to favor this bearish territory, then money flow is likely going to flip, and then we will see the 4 hour continue to pull back if we do not rebound. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is pushing down, RSI is starting to push down as well. The money flow wants to break into the bearish territory, VWAP is favoring the bearish territory, and the momentum is deep in that bearish territory as well. If our VWAP does not pull up and break that neutral, we are likely going to see that money flow break into that bearish trend here. The 1 and 2 hour aren't very far behind each other, so it could also push the 2 hour into a bearish trend. If that continues for a few candles and we get that rejection, then it's likely we will see those further losses. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.